Look familiar? What if I told you there was a way to expertly design, prototype, and launch your new product idea into mass production in less than 6 months, with no technical expertise required, no net cost to you, guaranteed prototype success, and all you have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the show? Yeah, that sounds way too good to be true. Reality for most hardware startups feels a little more like this, and with so many complex avenues to go down, well, it can be frustrating and confusing. My mission? Get you through that design and engineering maze and on to mass production. My name's Dan Engerer, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you how my team and I help hardware startups design, prototype, and launch their new product ideas easily and quickly using a proven process. In this video, you're going to learn how to get a flawless prototype, how to raise funds fast, the top 3 mistakes that hardware startups make, the product launch process overview, and finally, actionable next steps that you can take today to move your project forward. All of this free information is going to enable you to run your project like a real pro. So if you're ready to take that idea that you've been sitting on to product launch, if you're not afraid of some action, if you're ready to make 6 or even 7 figures, because let's be honest, you wouldn't be watching this video if you weren't expecting to make a big impact in your life. And finally, if you're ready to have some fun, well, you're in the right place. So let's jump right in. We're going to start with a high-level overview of the new product development process. The idea here is to just give you a bird's eye view of that maze we were talking about earlier. You see, just having a sense of the big picture is going to put you ahead of 90% of the pack right out of the gate. Most people are just overwhelmed by the information, so we've got to take a step back and look at the new product development process as a whole. So it may look kind of complex, but it's actually pretty simple. See, we start out here at concept and we want to get down to commercialization, but we've got all these steps in between: business plan, design and engineering, and manufacturing. So let's just start out by talking about your concept, stage 1. In particular, how profitable is your product idea? All right, check this out. We're going to handle this like engineers. On the y-axis, we've got idea value. That's just how good your raw idea is. And on the x-axis, we've got idea execution. That's just how well you roll out your idea. So let's say you have an idea that's amazing. It's like a cure for cancer. Your idea value is going to be way up here. But if you hire your Uncle Bob to do the design and engineering of your product, well, your execution's not going to be so great. So the profitability is represented by the area of this little rectangle. Not very much. But if you take that same idea and you hire the best team in the world, well, your profitability is going to be massive, and that's where you can really make some money. Now, I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke at you and tell you that you have a guaranteed multi-million-dollar idea. Not all ideas are winners, but I don't work with people who I don't think have great ideas. See, the way this works is that you bring the great idea, my team and I, we bring the expert execution. Here's one of my clients, Charles. He had a great idea for an ergonomic leaf collection tool called the Easy Leaf. Like most people, he didn't know much about product development, but he had passion and a crystal clear vision of his invention. We designed, engineered, and prototyped his product and helped him transition into mass production. Now he's selling his product. So now real quick, I want to touch on the business plan section. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all these details. We've got a lot of complex topics like licensing, production quantities, market entry, warranty, things like that. All I'm going to say here is that you must have a business plan. Now, I know this may sound intimidating, but it's going to save you a lot of trouble. Not having a detailed plan every step of the way is a recipe for disaster, and I see new entrepreneurs do this all the time. They're too antsy and they just jump into things without developing a guaranteed winning strategy. This is a big mistake, and it's a great way to get yourself wrecked right off the bat. You need to partner with someone who's been there, done that. Someone who can handle all of this complexity. Now, one of these topics is going to be of extreme importance to our strategy, and that's funding. All of this stuff, lawyers, engineers, manufacturing, that all takes money, and that money has to come from somewhere. So let's talk about how to make that somewhere not your retirement fund. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hold on, I thought this whole thing was no net cost to me. Well, yes, that's right. Fundraising is how you do this. The idea is that you use the raised funds to cover your costs so that when it's all said and done, you're not paying out of your own pocket. So with that being said, let's talk about how to raise maximum funds fast. And this is a proven strategy for fundraising. It's been proven time and time again. It's not just some crack pipe idea. And that strategy is to make an awesome prototype that blows investors away. Look, if we're going to be raising money for your product, we need something to really open those investor checkbooks. Talk is cheap, and there's nothing like some cold, hard physical proof like a beautiful working prototype. Now, when it comes to fundraising, there are two types of entrepreneurs. There are the rainmakers, who almost always have at least a demo prototype to show off their idea. It's not uncommon to see just an awesome windfall of cash. Tens to hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars are not uncommon, and I'm not even exaggerating here. If you can raise this kind of funding, you're going to be feeling pretty awesome. Then we've got the strugglers. These people usually don't have a prototype, and it really shows. At this point, it's not uncommon to see people raid their own piggy bank, but what usually happens is that they just kill their project altogether, and it's pretty sad, to be honest. Here's one of my clients, BB. He had an idea for a cool travel product called the Go-Bout, so we completely designed, engineered, and fabricated some prototypes. Here's his Indiegogo crowdfunding platform, and between his different fundraising campaigns, he raised over $150,000. This helped launch him into mass production, and now he's selling his product. So if you really want to max out your fundraising, your prototype needs to rock. Like, you need to knock it out of the park completely. You only get one shot with fundraising. You see, you can't be crawling back to investors over and over with failed prototypes. They're going to lose confidence in you, and you're not going to be able to raise much money. What you need to do is take one very well-aimed, well-calculated shot and just hit a total bullseye. And that's what I do every day for my clients. Now I'm going to tell you how to make that awesome prototype. But this probably isn't something you'll be able to do on your own in your spare time. It takes a huge range of professional skills to pull off a killer product. If you want to do things right, what you really need to do is hire a world-class, multidisciplinary design and engineering team. Here's another product that we designed and engineered at Brainchild. It's called the Dial Tune. Our customer took the prototype to an international music convention, and the response has blown them away. They got tons of pre-orders, professional endorsements, and media requests, and I'm actually really jealous of these guys because they're going to be multimillionaires in no time flat. The market loves their idea. Now, what you're seeing are examples of prototypes going really well because they were designed and made by professionals. But one very common mistake I see is that startups and inventors just can't resist the urge to make prototypes before they're ready and without really even knowing what they're doing. Product design and engineering is a science that takes years, and while it may look easy, it's like quicksand. So don't get caught up in the craze of 3D printing. There's no faster way to burn through a bunch of time and money debugging parts. You're also going to want to resist the temptation to try to do everything yourself, use friends or family, or hire amateurs. These shortcuts seem appealing because you can save money up front, but this is almost always counterproductive because you need to go back and fix a ton of mistakes. Not getting the right help is one surefire way to drag or tank your project. Now, I know I'm starting to sound pessimistic, but if you follow this advice, you're going to save yourself a mountain of trouble. So by now, I'm sure you realize the importance of getting professional help. And with that, I'm going to offer you one more piece of advice that's really going to pump up your execution numbers and max out your chances of success. And if you've made it this far, just stay with me until the end because you're about to gain some very valuable insight. When it comes to getting help with your product, you've got some options. There are some companies that seem to offer everything in-house, from engineering to fundraising, marketing, manufacturing, and more. I call these jack-of-all-trades operations. They're product development generalists. On the other hand, you've got specialists who only focus on one thing, only design and engineering, or only fundraising, or only manufacturing. These are more like brain surgeons. They're not good at everything, but they are very good at one thing. Now, the one-stop shop is definitely convenient, but as they say, a jack of all trades is usually a master of none. On the other hand, specialists are the undisputed experts in their respective fields, but are less convenient because as an entrepreneur, you've got to find a handful of specialists to help you out. So this isn't ideal either. What we want is the best of both worlds. The good news is that you can get the best of both worlds. Here's how. And this approach is going to give you top quality execution with ease. It's how I give my clients the best possible experience, and it's my personal recommendation to max out your results. Here's how it works. My company, Brainchild Engineering, specializes in product design and engineering. It's our focus. But we know that this is only one piece of the puzzle for new product entrepreneurs. So we've developed an exclusive network of top-notch, highly vetted experts in every other relevant field. The idea here is to bring all of the best product development specialists into one place so you don't have to go shopping around for them. I call this the Custom Pro package. You get access to top-notch specialists with a custom plan that's totally managed, so you get to sit back, relax, and watch as your product idea comes to life. This is the easiest approach to new product development, yet it also gets you the highest quality results. Of course, every project is different. Maybe you only need 2 or 3 services. That's totally fine and totally expected. Now, I'm actually going to pause and give you a bit of a warning. Product development is a high-stakes game. You have the potential to make a lot of money in a short amount of time, but you can also burn a lot of money and time very easily if you aren't careful. Right now, you are armed with valuable knowledge, enough to be dangerous, and you haven't screwed up your project yet. A lot of entrepreneurs would really kill to be in your shoes and start over. All I'm asking is that you make your next decision very carefully because it's important. Obviously, my recommendation for the easiest and best experience is to go with the Custom Pro package. Of course, you're more than welcome to figure things out on your own, but when the stakes are so high, why take the risk and why go to all that trouble when you can have a straightforward, easy path laid out for you? And like I said, maybe you only need design and engineering services. That's totally fine. Now, what I found is that this service is actually ideal for type A people. People who are just totally obsessed with their idea and can't stop thinking about it. It's like their baby and they know it better than anyone else. They want to reach product launch before the competition because they realize the value of their product. They hate confusion and are done with the wandering journey BS. They want an easy, handheld, and guided experience with professional quality results. And above all, just want to get it done. Now, if this sounds appealing to you, what I'm going to recommend is that you go ahead and schedule a strategy call with me personally. We'll discuss your unique project and situation and determine if we're a good fit to work together, because I only take on clients who I can really deliver for. You'll get advice and a strategy recommendation on how best to progress your project, whatever direction that may be. You'll also get an instant price quote on the phone and a question and answer session to ensure that your understanding is crystal clear. Naturally, our conversation is totally confidential, and I've got an NDA form available on the next page for download if you wish. This is not for tinkerers who are just toying around with an idea or those who can't handle rapid progress, and frankly, penny pinchers. Product development does take some upfront money, so you need to be willing to fund your project. Of course, if we successfully raise funds, then it shouldn't be coming out of your pocket at the end of the day anyways. Who this will work for? Serious entrepreneurs with a real product idea. This could be inventors, startups, existing businesses, etc. Those who are passionate about their invention and just can't stop thinking about it. And finally, those who are comfortable with rapid progress, because once we get going, we're going to hit the gas and get to the finish line quick. So if you fall into that second category, let's chat. Schedule a strategy call with me now. You should see a button beneath this video that will take you to a calendar tool where you can schedule an appointment at whatever time slot works for you. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope to hear from you soon.